Guys, the amount of compliments that I have gotten on my hair just this week alone is actually insane. So I go to Paul Mitchell's cosmetology school to get my hair done, cut, things like that. And I went this past week to get my hair cut. And let me just tell you, everyone there was just super nice. I love going there. It's just such positive energy and positive vibes. And the students were so sweet and they were complimenting me on my hair and just like the health of my hair. But that's why I'm filming this today, is because I had a lot of questions and just a lot of people asking me how I get my hair this way, how I keep it healthy. So today I'm revealing all of my hair care tips and how I take care of my hair. So let's get into the video. Make sure you have a pen and paper and you are taking down notes. But first, let's establish my credibility. I used to be really insecure about my hair in middle school because I did not know how to take care of my hair or really how to maintain the health. And because of this, I just had this really big insecurity, and I was using heat on my hair every single day, whether that be to curl it or to straighten it. I really fried my hair in middle school and it was a dark time. I wish I had photos to show you guys, but like, when I tell you I was insecure, like I was insecure. I hated photos being taken of me. Like I just hated looking at myself. I've learned a lot about my hair and how to fix heat damaged hair and maintain long and healthy hair. And I do want to acknowledge that I am also 100% Indian. So a lot of it is my genetics too. Being Indian for me means basically that I was getting my hair oiled out of the womb, which we will get into a little bit later. So first, let's get into why heat is damaging to the hair, since that's basically how I ruined and destroyed my hair. But heat strips away natural moisture from the hair, which leaves it dry, brittle, and prone to breakage. And heat can also denature the proteins in your hair, specifically keratin, which is the protein that is responsible for your hair's strength and the elasticity. So this damage weakens the hair and makes it more prone to damage in general. And heat can also open the hair's cuticle, which is the outer protective layer of your hair. And this exposes the inner layers of the hair to environmental factors such as moisture, UV, and pollution, which can also damage the bonds within the hair shaft, which can reduce the elasticity overall in your hair. And this makes the hair more prone to tangled, getting knotty, causing breakage. And I know this is a lot of information, but it's really important to understand what's causing the damage in your hair in order to know how to fix it and how to make your hair healthier and thicker and just overall in better shape. So part of my hair journey was cutting out heat for 2 to 3 years in order to give my hair a break and for new hair to grow. And I was able to cut off all of the damaged parts and basically start brand new, which was essential for my hair care journey. Obviously, there are going to be times where heat may be necessary on your hair, so let's get into how to protect it. And I mean, always, whenever you're doing heat on your hair, use a hair protectant or serum or some kind of protection on your hair. For example, I like the Color Wow Extra Strength Dream Coat, and these products create a barrier around the hair shaft, which reduces the overall heat damage. I like to air dry my hair because of the PTSD from constantly using heat whenever possible, but if I need to blow dry my hair or use my blowout brush, I try to only use the lowest setting to reduce the amount of heat is being exposed to my hair. Also, I try to make sure not to hold the heat on one section of hair for too long. I like to keep the heat moving to prevent like a concentrated damage. So when it comes to hair care, finding the right shampoo and conditioner makes a huge difference. The right products clean my hair without stripping away the natural oils, and they add back the moisture it needs to stay soft, shiny, and manageable. A good shampoo balances cleansing while hydrating, and a good conditioner smooths the cuticle, reduces frizz, and strengthens the hair from within. And using the wrong ones can completely throw off your hair health or your hair in general, causing dryness, greasiness, frizz, or even breakage. And different hair types need different formulas, like lightweight ones for oily hair or more richer formulas for dry and curly hair. And some even help with scalp issues like dandruff or dryness. So basically, the right shampoo and conditioner don't just make your hair look better, but they keep it healthier, stronger, and can help the overall health of your hair in the long run and protect it from everyday damage. A lot of hydrating shampoos can actually make my scalp personally feel oily and like I have like a layer of product on my head. and I really lean towards more clarifying shampoos or tea tree shampoos. My favorite one currently is the one by Paul Mitchell. I'm pretty sure it's called the Tea Tree Special Shampoo, and I use the conditioner from that same line as well. Okay, now let's talk hair oiling. Hair oiling has been a big part of my culture and something that I grew up with. My mom and my amachi have been oiling my hair since I was literally a kid. It was just always part of the routine. The practice itself comes from ancient Ayurvedic traditions where oils like coconut or amla oil are massaged into the scalp to strengthen the hair and to boost growth and keep it's soft and shiny. Hair oiling has always been one of my go-to practices for keeping my hair healthy and strong. So when people ask me like, what do I do to keep my hair? I'm like, girl, oiling it. When I apply oil, it helps moisturize my hair from the inside out, reduces dryness, frizziness, and just overall breakage. And the oils I like to use are coconut or rosemary, which can help boost scalp circulation, which supports hair growth and keeps the roots nourished. And I've found through trial and error is that the key is using the right hair oil for your hair type, because I found that sometimes I overdo it, and one of the trial and errors that I went through was actually using castor oil, and castor oil might work for some hair types, but when I applied castor oil to my hair, let me tell you, it made my hair feel so oily and just weighed down. I was taken away. I was like, what? I didn't know that oil could do that to your hair. It's just so thick, and no matter how many times I washed my hair out, it would not come out. And I was so afraid that it was gonna stay in my hair forever. I was like, oh my God, what did I just do? I messed up. And I think I did the same thing with jojoba oil, it was grapeseed oil. But I applied, like, those are really, really thick and concentrated oils, and they do not work with my hair type. So for me, going through the trial and error period and trying to figure out what hair oils actually worked with my scalp was a time. Let me tell you, it was a time, but now that I found the ones that worked, I'm gonna stick with them and I'm not gonna change anything up. So let's get into finding the hair oil for your hair. So when it comes to choosing the right hair oil, it really depends on your hair type and what your hair needs. For me, I typically use an argan oil or coconut oil on my ends to keep them soft and hydrated, and rosemary or coconut on my scalp to stimulate growth and nourish the roots. I like to warm the oil a bit before applying it, and then it turns into like a nice hot oil treatment, which can help boost circulation. I never leave my hair oil on overnight though, because it's messy. I usually let it sit for around 2 to 4 hours, and then I double cleanse with shampoo. And I always like to make sure I'm using a clarifying shampoo just to make sure there's no buildup that's lingering in my hair. And different oils serve different purposes. Like argan oil is great for fine hair because they don't weigh it down, which is kind of like my hair. And then richer oils like coconut and avocado are perfect for thick or curly hair that need more moisture. Personally, this routine keeps my hair healthy and super soft, and it also keeps my scalp moisturized and healthy. And I've found that with rosemary oil, the more that I use rosemary oil on my scalp, the more new hair growth I see, and the thicker my hair starts to feel in the long run. So just really testing out different oils, finding which ones work for you, knowing what your hair type is specifically, and doing research on your hair type, because everyone's hair is different. What works for my hair might not work for your hair, but sometimes it might. So it's really important to understand the type of hair that you have and doing research on your hair type specifically, because while everything I say works for my head and my hair, it may be different. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. I'm not making any promises. Okay, now let's talk about hair protection at night and how to protect your hair while you sleep. So switching to silk or satin bedding has literally been a game changer for both my hair and skin. Both materials help minimize the friction while you sleep, which means that there's going to be less breakage, fewer tangles, and way smoother hair in the mornings. Because unlike cotton, which can absorb all the natural oils and the moisture from your hair, silk and satin help your hair stay hydrated and soft overnight. And I've honestly noticed a big difference in how much less frizzy and dry my hair feels ever since I've made the switch. Silk is a more luxurious option. It's natural, breathable, and hypoallergenic, and it's great for temperature control, but it is a bit more expensive. Satin, on the other hand, is more affordable, it's vegan friendly, and it gives still pretty much the same benefits as using silk, but it is more affordable. So I personally opt in for the satin ones. I had silk pillowcases and then I lost them, which I was devastated for, but personally, I think going either way with satin or silk and protecting your hair while you sleep with a better pillowcase is just so essential. So I will link my favorite satin and silk pillowcases and the brands below in the description. But also, wearing a bonnet at night has honestly made such a difference in keeping my hair healthy, manageable, and just protecting my hair while I sleep. Bonnets, especially the silk or satin, I also use a satin one, help reduce friction between the hair and the pillowcase, which means less breakage, tangling, and split ends. And I have cats, so I just make sure my hair is protected so much while I sleep because they sleep with me. But it also stops your hair from being dried out from other fabrics, like we've mentioned before with the pillowcases. And I found that wearing a bonnet helps my hair stay smoother, shinier, and more hydrated overnight. And it's also great for preserving hairstyles, which is what I do because I like to use overnight curl methods. So I will put my bonnet over that to make sure that everything stays in place and I have the best curls in the morning. The best part about bonnets is that they work for all hair types, and it's literally just such a simple step that really protects your hair overall while you sleep. Now, I kind of mentioned this before, but I've been a huge fan of heatless curls because they give me soft, bouncy waves without all the damage from hot tools. Like I said, I had PTSD from that. But methods like overnight braids, foam rollers, or even like the sock curl trick help me style my hair and wake up with nice, beautiful, soft morning curls. And it keeps it healthy because I'm not using heat. And since I'm not using heat, my hair retains its natural moisture and the shine. And I've noticed that there's less breakage and frizz over time. It's also just like a great way to maintain your hair's natural texture and elasticity without risking dryness or split ends. Plus, heatless curls are super convenient. I can do them before bed and I can wake up with styled hair, no curling iron needed, and it literally takes no time because it's being curled while you sleep. Like, why would you not want to do that? And I know that some people, it was trial and error for me to figure out which ones worked for my hair. But once I found the unicorn method, and then the one that's just like kind of with the rods on the side of your heads like this, and then you just wrap them around, those are my two favorite ones, and I don't do anything else. I don't even think I own a curling wand anymore after I used the overnight heatless curl method. Okay, now let's talk about honestly my least favorite section, and that's nutrition and diet. But honestly, healthy hair really does start from the inside, and what you eat and how much you're drinking water truly does make a big difference in how your hair looks and grows. Our hair is mostly made of keratin, which is a protein, so getting enough proteins from foods like eggs, salmon, meat, fish, or like beans, things like that is essential for strong, healthy, thick, resilient hair strands. Vitamins and minerals also play a huge essential role. Biotin and B12 help support follicle health. Vitamin A keeps the scalp hydrated, and vitamin C improves iron absorption, and vitamin D contributes to the hair's strength. Minerals like iron and zinc are just as important for growth and protecting follicles from damage. And I also try to eat, and keyword, I try. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I do this on a daily basis, but I try to eat a balanced mix of foods like salmon, eggs, nuts, leafy greens, and berries to make sure that I'm getting nutrients naturally. Staying hydrated is also so important, and I try to limit, keyword limit, not completely exclude, processed foods and sugar since they can affect your overall hair health. So if you're really struggling with hair thinning or breakage, it honestly can be worth looking into your diet and what kind of foods and nutrients you're putting into your body, or what kind of nutrient deficiencies that you may have, or even talking to a healthcare professional about supplements and what you can do to just make sure you're getting all your nutrients for your hair and your skin health. So staying hydrated is also one of the most simple but most overlooked ways of maintaining healthy hair. Drinking enough water is not only important for your overall physical health, but it also can help your hair health. And it maintains moisture in your scalp, which prevents the dryness, the dandruff, the brittleness, And since each strand of hair is pretty much made of partly made of water, dehydration can make your hair feel weak, dull, and even more prone to breakage or split ends. And proper hydration also keeps the hair's cuticle feeling strong, locking in moisture and protecting it from everyday damage. I've noticed that when I drink more water consistently, my scalp feels less dry and my hair looks shinier and fuller. But when I'm not drinking a lot of water and I'm feeling dehydrated, I tend to notice that my hair can be frizzier, my scalp is itchier, or there's even more shedding than usual. So drinking enough water isn't just good for your skin and your overall health and your body, but it's honestly essential for strong, healthy, and resilient hair too. Okay, now let's talk about some DIY and some extra hair care tips that I like to implement into my routine. Yogurt and honey hair masks have been one of my favorite DIY hair masks since I was a kid. So basically, it's pretty simple. It's literally just like it sounds. It's yogurt, completely natural yogurt mixed with honey, and you just put that in your hair and you leave it in for like 30 minutes to an hour if you have time. But yogurt is packed with proteins and lactic acid that nourish and strengthen the hair, and the honey acts as a humectant, locking in moisture and adding shine. And together they will honestly leave your hair feeling soft, hydrated, and a lot easier to manage. This mask also can help calm an itchy scalp and gently exfoliates away buildup and keeps flakes under control thanks to honey's antibacterial properties. I usually mix plain yogurt with a little bit of honey and then add it to my hair and then scalp. I massage it in and then let it sit for, like I said, around 30 minutes to an hour before rinsing it out and like shampooing and conditioning. And then afterwards, my hair just feels so much more smooth. It looks shinier, there's less frizz. There are so many benefits to a honey and yogurt mask. And it's just such an easy way to give your hair a good deep conditioning without spending a crazy amount of money on an expensive deep conditioner. Another thing that I really like to do, I've been doing this one since college, is doing a rice water rinse after I do my shampoo and conditioner. And these are one of the more simple treatments that actually deliver noticeable results. It's packed with amino acids, vitamins, and proteins that help strengthen the hair, reduce breakage, and promote growth. And I like to use it after the shower, like I said. It smoothens my hair and makes it shinier and even helps with detangling. The starch in the rice water coats each of the strands and reinforces the hair cuticle and gives my hair a more thicker and fuller appearance. And it also helps with balancing my scalp's pH, which keeps oil and buildup under control. Sometimes I make it by soaking rice for about 30 minutes and other times I let it ferment overnight for extra nutrients. But after shampooing and conditioning, I pour it over my hair and gently massage it in. And then I leave it in a few minutes before doing another rinse. And it's a quick, natural way to make my hair more stronger, softer, and more manageable without needing any fancy products. Another one that I really like to do is an apple cider vinegar rinse. This is diluted apple cider vinegar. It's a simple, natural way to refresh your hair and your scalp. It helps remove product and oil buildup, smoothens the hair cuticle, and reduces frizz and adds shine. Thanks to its antibacterial and also antifungal properties, it can also calm an itchy or flaky scalp. And one of the biggest benefits is that it's balancing the scalp's pH, which supports overall hair health. And I like how it makes my hair feel cleaner and lighter without stripping away natural oils. And to use it, I mix a little bit of apple cider vinegar with half of a cup of water, and I just pour it over my hair after shampooing. I let it sit for about a minute or two and then I rinse it out, and it leaves my hair feeling so smooth, shiny, and refreshed. And for dry or sensitive scalps, it's the best to use a little bit and not too frequently because it can tend to dry your hair out even more. And I do want to mention that it can be like a potent, strong smell because it's apple cider vinegar. But if you mix it with some essential oils or honestly like some rosemary, if you want to throw in some rose petals, just to help with the scent, then that can help a lot. But honestly, I feel like the benefits from the apple cider vinegar rinse are so worth the smell, as bad as that can be. Like, it can smell bad. I used to do it in college, but it's honestly worth it. And I'm not saying do it every day, maybe once once every few weeks will be enough. Now I want to mention some of the tools and products that I like to use to maintain healthy and protected hair. And one of those is going to be microfiber towels. Microfiber towels are a simple upgrade that can make a big difference in your hair care routine, and they help with reducing frizz and breakage and cut down the drying time and protect your hair while minimizing the need for heat styling. Because microfiber is a smoother and more absorbent than traditional cotton, it gently removes excess water without roughing up the cuticle or disrupting your hair's natural texture. And I love how these towels make my hair feel softer and easier to manage, and they're especially great for maintaining curl definition and reducing frizz. They don't leave lint behind, which is amazing, and they're so lightweight. Another one is a wooden hairbrush. I've switched to using a wooden hairbrush, and it's honestly made such a noticeable difference for both my hair and my scalp. The rounded wooden bristles gently massage my scalp as I brush, which helps improve blood flow to my hair follicles and support healthier, stronger growth. And unlike plastic brushes, it reduces static and frizz, leaving my hair smoother and shinier. I've also noticed that it naturally distributes my scalp's oil from the root to the tip so that my hair feels more conditioned without any extra products. The wide set, smooth bristles are gentle enough to prevent breakage and split ends. And on top of that, I love that wood brushes are eco-friendly, biodegradable, and naturally antimicrobial, so they're better for the environment and they stay cleaner for longer. So overall, it's a small switch that really makes my hair stronger, shinier, and healthier over time. Another thing I want to mention is using a daily hair oil. I like to use a light daily hair oil, and it's become such an essential part of my routine. Keeps my hair hydrated without weighing it down, tames frizz, adds natural shine. The oil forms a protective layer that locks in moisture, making my strands feel softer, more resilient, while also smoothing flyaways so my hair looks more polished and manageable. And honestly, I actually have one of the ones that I like to use over here. This is the OGX Biotin and Collagen Weightless Oil Mist. There it is right there. It's one of my favorite ones. And then I also have another one. Let me show you. It's also on my desk. I like to keep these by my desk because I spend most of my time here. But this is also the OGX. This is a renewing argan oil of Morocco, extra penetrating oil, dry and coarse hair. So I like to use this one right after I get out of the shower. But both of these oils are both very affordable. They're great quality and they last a long time. A little goes a long way. So I like to make sure that I'm having an oil in my hair, especially during the dry season, where entering fall and winter, where my hair and skin just kind of need a little bit more oomph to it because it's just like dry season. Like there's no other way to explain it. It's just a dry season. But anyways, that's all I have for you guys today in this video. I hope you found some of these tips helpful. I hope you guys were taking down notes. All of the products that I've mentioned in the video will be linked down below, and they are in my link tree as well. So you can go ahead and pick and choose which ones you would like to get and include in your hair care routine. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys in this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!